So let's get some work done on this thing. So it's been a little while. I'm gonna start with cutting out some of this battery holder. I'm gonna do the cold side piping today, I think. So what I'm gonna do is a 3 to 2.5, and then a 3 to 2.5, and then run a little 2.5 there. Not trying to make 1300 horsepower with this thing, so I don't really need 3.5 inch or 3 inch. Goal with this thing is going to be to make 500 and make it a driver, so 2.5 should be more than sufficient. Just going to have a very short run from here to here, and then a short run from here to here, so I'll probably do like a little, I don't know, 180 wing ding here and do a 90, something like that. I'm going to cut a little bit of this out, so I can probably like re-weld and make that a little bit smaller and put a small battery here. I think that's what I'm going to do, but I got to start by chopping this thing out. Alright, so I jumped a little bit ahead here. So it turns out that the kit that I was sent was actually a 3-inch kit, and I bought a 2.5. I verified that I bought a 2.5, but they sent me a 3-inch kit. I already had cut this piece, not realizing that it was a 3-inch. I guess I'm just used to working with 3-inch, so when I felt the 3-inch pipe, I didn't really think much of it. So I already cut the piece that I needed for here, and then realized that it was a 3-inch kit. So ended up just coming off of here with a 3-inch coupler. I did buy 3.5 inch to 3-inch elbow right here, and then I already had a 2.5 to 3-inch, so I used that and then just cut 2 of the 45 sections like that, and I got a nice little bend that goes right in, so I think that looks pretty good. I went and picked up a Hunter tuned blow-off valve in Wastegate from Hunter. He's local, so I went and picked that stuff up, or you can buy them on huntertune.com. So I think where I'm going to put that is right here, and I'll probably mount it something like that in here somewhere. And this manifold has a fitting right on the bottom of it for the wastegate, so the wastegate will go on something like that. I don't think I'll mount it on there yet, but everything should fit pretty good there. Alright, so I put a little mark on, just with a Sharpie, where I want that thing mounted. This radius doesn't fit exactly on the 3-inch pipe, so I'm going to have to sand some of that down and get it to fit. And then I'll be able to weld that on and drill it out. I usually weld them on and then drill it out, instead of drilling the hole and then welding it, just so there's more material for welding and less chance of blowing through on the hole. So now I got something that fit up, looks like that, and then I'll weld that guy on, and then I'll just drill out the inside. Alright, so I took the hole saw and the burr bit and then just went around and punched a hole and cleaned that up a little bit. Now I'm going to go through and put a bead on these guys with the bead roller. Alright, so I got the bead roller in the vise. And I'll just put this in there. What I like to do is just a little bit of a clamp on first, and then I like to go around probably 3 or 4 times instead of trying to do it all at one time. I do have to put it in the vise at an angle like this, just so everything clears. I'll run this around. Like I said, I just have a little bit of a bead being made. Right now you'll be able to see it come around there, and then when I can feel it loosen up, I'll do like another quarter turn on it. There, loosened up again. I'll do another one. So there we got a pretty good bead. I'll probably go through with the sander and clean that edge up a little bit because it was rubbing on the inside of here, but not a big deal. And there's the bead. Alright, so there's the piece with both the beads. I did take the edges on the sander just to clean it up a little bit, and I think it turned out pretty good. I wish I was a little better at keeping the pipe clean. I always get fingerprints and scratches and stuff on it. I don't protect it at all usually, but I wish I was a little better at doing that. But maybe someday I'll focus on that. Alright, so I'm going to call it for tonight, and then I'm going to get some gas in the morning. I got a piece of brake line laid out. I had a piece of 3/16 line. So hopefully I'll be able to reuse this and redo the front brake line that I cut. And I just ordered some stuff for the clutch line, so hopefully I'll be able to finish that. It's like a 18-inch section from here down to the one that came with the kit. And then I should be able to knock out intake gasket, clutch lines, front brake line, intercooler piping, install injectors, rear brake lines. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll look at that right away because I'd like to have brake lines and stuff figured out. Then it's really like ECU, wiring, downpipe and exhaust. I might just do like an up pipe short term just to get it running, but we'll see what I can knock out tomorrow. Alright, so that's a little bit better than what we had before. So I'll go with that. So when that cools down, I'll get the beads on it, then I can throw it in the car. Next, I think I'm going to go after this brake line. That should be pretty quick. I did throw the clutch line on there, just an 18-inch braided line. I got 3/8 24 inverted flare to 3AN fitting, and then an 18-inch 3AN line, and then I just connected the two down there. Ideally I would just have one long line that goes all the way to the master, but maybe I'll change that out later or some other time. I just used the line that was supplied with the kit, and that wasn't long enough, so maybe someday if I pull it out I'll actually replace that so it's just one solid line and don't have that coupler in there. But should be fine the way it is, right? Maybe it'll actually be nice to have a way to disconnect it there and pull everything out, because the clutch line has to come out with the transmission because the connection is actually inside the bell housing. So it's not like I could just disconnect it quick and then replace it, because it is inside the bell housing. Alright, well here's the brake line pieces that I was trying to redo. There's like a 14-inch section in between here that I cut out. These are all a metric bubble flare. I do have a double flare kit, but I don't trust myself doing a bubble flare with that kit. I did do a couple practice flares, but I just didn't really like how they turn out, especially with this like copper nickel line. It has like a weird crease in the middle from the clamp, and I just didn't really like it. So I started looking at other options, like converting it to AN, or if there was a kit. I did find a kit that was $42 for the double line, but it was $60 shipping. So then I was a little more hesitant. I started to piece together some AN stuff for it, and then the cost ended up going over what it would have been to buy that kit. And then I would have had like a metric bubble flare to 3AN adapter to a 90 to a line, and I didn't really like all that. So I ended up just buying the kit, so that'll come. In hindsight, I didn't really even need to cut this line. I could have just taken the lines out, but everything on this car has been so clean, like all the bolts and everything come out pretty easy, and I wasn't expecting the brake lines to come out. What I'm used to is like old Wisconsin truck, where anytime you touch a brake line fitting, it just destroys the line and you have to rebuild it anyways. So I was just thinking that that's what was going to happen on this. But then when I actually took it apart, it came off clean. But I didn't know that. I guess I should have tried that in the beginning. But I ordered the kit, have that on the way, and I'll start to piece the kit, and I'll start to piece together the stuff for the rear lines. I'll probably do AN for the rear, just because it's like the conversion to the Ford 88 rear end. But we'll see. I got to spend a little more time looking at that. So let's finish up this pipe, and I'll get the beads on that, and then we'll put it in, and I'll probably end that one here. Alright, there you go. That's this pipe. Turned out really nice. I like how this bead always turns out. It always turns out really, really good. So I'm going to slap that bad boy on there. This is a little tricky to get on. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to get this in here normally. But I think it's going to be something like this. twist the coupler on the turbo, something like that. Alright, so there it is in there now finally. Took a little bit of finagling. I might end up marking on the bottom side the coupler position and the pipe, so I know if I ever take it off which position that coupler goes in, because it's kind of hard once it's on there to twist it to get it to the right angle with the turbo. So that's all done. Just got to put clamps on there. Alright, so let's look at what we got here. Clutch lines. It's been a long time. My tape's hard to cut them off now. Clutch lines. Oh boy. Not as satisfying to pull them off when it rips 700 times. And it's pretty cold out in this garage right now, so that might be contributing to that. So intercooler piping. So I guess that's all I got done. Felt like I did more, but I was planning on getting those brake lines and stuff done too, but I guess we'll get that done pretty soon. So intercooler piping and clutch line is done. I do have material for the intake gasket. I'm going to try this like rubber sheet roll. It's got adhesive on one side, and then I'll be able to cut the holes for it, so I'm going to try that. So we'll get rolling on that stuff. I'm going to try to get a little bit more time out here. More time than I've been doing lately. Try to get back to at least the 1 hour a day method and just start knocking out little things here and there. But really, before I want to try to wire it, it's really like intake gasket, injectors, and then the front and rear brake lines. And then the downpipe and exhaust, I might just do like an up pipe. We'll see how I feel about that. Plugging the vacuum lines and the intake. That's like all this stuff. This 2JZ intake has a bunch of plugs and ports and crap on it. So I'll do that and run the vacuum lines. And I think the longest part is really going to be the wire harness. That's going to be the longest and probably what I want to spend the most time on. So we'll see. It's February. Maybe I will just go ahead and do the full exhaust right away. I don't really have a big rush to get it out, but would be kind of motivating to like get it running. That'd be fun. So we'll see.